All right, good morning, everyone. Sunday morning tropical update. And that right there is Invest 97L. Really good convection coming off of Africa. It's holding together. It's starting to rotate just a little bit. Here's a little bit bigger picture of it, as you can see. Tough to find the exact center right now, but good enough to say that, look, this thing's got an 80% chance of development from the hurricane center. All right, so they're game on this, and it looks like it is going to develop. But I will caution you, because I'm going to show you a whole bunch of forecast models today, and I will caution you and let you know that we don't know exactly where the center of this thing is. And so when the models start running, they're looking for the center of this, right? They want to know that, hey, the center is right here. And so now start running the model, and it's going to go from here to here. So there are going to be some changes in this forecast over the next several days. There have already been changes already, but that's the nature of it, right? That's kind of what we expect. Just real fast to show you, there is some dry air to the north of this, but a lot of dust up there as well in the orange that you see there. But right now it looks like that's all kind of running ahead of it. So it's got a pretty good atmosphere that it's in right here that it's trying to fire up with. So let's get right over to the models first. Let's start with the Hurricane Center. They have an 80% chance, 30% chance next 2 days, 80% chance after that as it moves west-northwest across the Atlantic, okay? This is that one that's only got about a 20% chance. Not worried about that. All right, now let's go out to the GFS model, okay? This is the ensembles, and you can see the runs this morning. Basically, obviously, you know, trying to recurve, but anywhere from here all the way along the East Coast, okay? So there's a pretty good spread, and that will continue for a while. Obviously, there's a pretty good agreement in here, but the devil's in the details. If it runs more into here, you're going to end up over into here. If it runs more into here, you're going to end up further over to the west, okay? So that's just kind of how that works. But this is 10, 11, almost 12 days out. So being able to look at this and say exactly where it's going to go, you know, I'm out of the woods. No, nobody really is at this point. A recurve does look like it's possible, more likely than anything, but still, it's just too early to say that. Here's a look at another version of that. This shows you all the possible low locations. And you can see by Saturday, so that's next weekend, it's somewhere here northeast of Puerto Rico. There's Puerto Rico right there, okay? And you can see the model, the GFS is saying something in here. And then you see it starts to curve, but look at this. I mean, this is Monday, a week from tomorrow, and you can see quite a few over here in the Bahamas, the Turks and Caicos, okay? But the spread is way out here, all right? And then after that, it starts to really turn more to the north, and then eventually northeast. But I mean, look, that is from Florida all the way to New York, okay? And I saw somebody posted Martha's Vineyard getting hit last night. That's just one model run, all right? That's like saying you're going to pick one of these. Like, it's not this one, it's not that one. Yeah, let's pick the one that was over here, right? Which actually was this one. So you can't do that because the model doesn't know yet, and it is just that. But you do have to be prepared. I'd say the entire East Coast just in case. This is the European ensembles. This was last night's. I can show you. You can see they have a curve, but it looks a little bit more back. And this is the early run from today, but this only goes out 144 hours. But you can see that it's still in this particular area northeast of Puerto Rico. Here's another way to look at it. This is by the time we get towards Saturday, okay, just about a week from now. This is the very latest. Watch the shift. See that? That's not a big shift. That's the very latest run. That's as far out as it goes. But you can see the prior run. It's pretty much in the same ballpark, except the latest run has obviously more confidence that something's there. Okay, now if I go out to the prior run just to get it out further in time for you, you can see it goes close to the Turks and Caicos and Bahamas. But, I mean, where is Bermuda? Let me find Bermuda. Bermuda is right here. Okay, Bermuda's right in the middle of that circle. So I think they got to watch it more than anybody else at this particular point. But again, I mean, look how far west, how far east. It's a big window, something to watch. Tomerberg's got a great site. This is the ensembles. It takes all of the ensembles. So first of all, you know the difference between a regular run of the European versus the ensembles. I've been showing you the ensembles, which is all these different lines. So we run the model multiple times. They change certain things, and that way you get an idea of what the model's thinking versus just one run with one low pressure somewhere, wherever it is, right? This one, for instance, has, see all the little L's, right? This gives you an idea of what the model's thinking. And the regular run will show you one L right here, right? That's it. That's all you get. You don't see that it's thinking up here, back here. Okay, so that's why I tend to use the ensembles a whole lot. When you look at this one, this is an average of those ensembles. So the red line is the average of the European ensembles. The green line is the average of the GFS. Those are two ones to keep in mind. Okay, and you can clearly see the GFS is further north, the European is down here to the south. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on. Now, if you want to look at trends, and this will tell you which way the model's actually trending, kind of average them all together. And they're just, instead of being up here, now they're a little bit further to the west. Okay, so that's a trend, but I wanted to show you this because this is, at this point in the game, doesn't mean much, because remember I said it was here, is it here, is it here, right? So that's where it is, but you can see now it's trending further north, then it gets pushed further south, and then it ends up coming further south. So this is what's going to happen. This is how this normally works. This is a normal process. We need to know exactly where the center is, put that into the models, and then you'll get much better data coming out of it. You can see all of the runs here, right? You can see we've got stuff well down here near Cuba, stuff that turns and goes well east of Bermuda, which is sitting right in here. That green line is the GFS model. The black line is the mean. This is the average, basically, of all of the ensembles. Okay, so it right now it does try to show a curve somewhere out here, which is really good news. Something to keep an eye on. All right, so timing. You need to check back throughout the week because this look right here, let me show you this one right here. I'll show you the European. That's going to change, okay? It may not be like that. It may be further east, it may be further to the west, just in the next couple of days. Okay, so don't watch something today while you're out just relaxing and then think that's what it's going to be. Just know you need to check in every day, every other day, something like that, just real brief, okay? Now, let's get this out of the way because this, well, I think one way or the other, if this thing forms, we're going to get some swell. So this is Friday, this upcoming Friday the 15th. See that lower right-hand corner? Look at that. That, my friends, is some good surf. All right, looks like it gets to the Outer Banks by late Sunday. Florida would be Sunday night into Monday. Now, this will change, too. This is based off the GFS model, so this is all going to change. But there is a ton of surf coming for next week. This is Monday night into Tuesday, so a week from now, okay? I know we go back to school this week, but I don't think they go back to school up north until like first week of September or something like that. This is great for surfers. This is fantastic, although some of it's going to be too big. It'll just close out everywhere. You have to find those breaks that can hold a good swell and get to those next week. And you want your sick days are Monday and Tuesday of next week, especially for the Carolinas. All right. But this is also a rip current risk. I mean, a lot of folks are still, it's summertime up north. All right. They're still out of school, still beach vacations. So this is going to be a huge issue from the Carolinas, the Maryland, Jersey, Long Island. All those places are going to have big time rip currents the week before they go back to school or so. So please, please be careful if you have any family or friends or anything, if yourself are going up there. Okay. All right. Now, closer to home, I got to show you this. We have a flash flood warning down in the Sanibel area. They've seen almost a foot of rain in this area right in here overnight, last 10 to 12 hours. Okay. Watch what happens. This is the forecast model. It takes a break and then it's back later this afternoon. This is early this afternoon. Look at it pushing in. So they're going to get more rain. And then watch Pinellas County, which is in this area right in here, Manatee and Pinellas. First of all, look at this. That is the center of this. So does it develop? It's moving off like this. Okay. Does it develop? I don't know. I mean, it looks pretty decent. These things tend to flare up overnight over warm water, and that's exactly what it did. But you can see that spin there, kind of moves a little more northwest. But look at this afternoon. This is around 6, 7 o'clock. You see that rain goes across Pinellas, and then it rotates more through, and then it rotates more through. So from like 5 p.m. to midnight, there's a ton of rain trying to rotate through our coastal counties. And if that happens, we could have some flooding issues there as well. So something that we need to keep an eye on for tonight. And then tomorrow morning, this is not going to go out as far, but tomorrow morning, the bus stop, first day of school, we may have some issues with rain right along that US 19 corridor, the western part of Manatee County, for kids getting on the bus in the morning. So that's something we need to keep an eye on. Okay, that's it. That's your update for now. I will be posting some still photos throughout the day. But look, guys, again, we're 10 to 12 days out from this. So let's just keep that in mind and just keep checking back in from time to time.